Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. My name is Mike. You know, he came out of the University of New Mexico as the 9th pick in the 2000 draft at the middle linebacker position for the Chicago Bears. And since then, he played 13 seasons with the Bears, 8 Pro Bowls, and I'm of course speaking about Brian Urlacher. And I'm only taking a trip down memory lane here because it comes out today that the Bears and Brian Urlacher have decided to part ways. Phil Emery, the general manager of the Bears, came out in a statement today and basically said, the two sides were trying to come to a deal. They couldn't get to a deal, and basically both sides are now going to move on. And Urlacher, even if he latches on to another team here towards the end of his career, he'll always be a Chicago Bear. I know he's very beloved in that city. He's truly one of the legends in Bears history. I mean, you just take the linebacker position, right? You go from Butkus to Singletary, and I don't think I'm out of line by saying, and then to Urlacher. 13 seasons again, 8 Pro Bowls, was the face of that franchise. Led some very good defenses, led the Bears to a trip to the Super Bowl. And, it's kind of probably a sad day for Bears fans that sort of a chapter in Bears history is probably in their eyes coming to an end now. And, it's nonetheless, the organization will move on. I think that, they obviously want Urlacher to be a part of the organization if and when he does retire. They end, it seems like, on good terms with Urlacher. I mean, who knows how these negotiations went, and if there's any hard feelings between the two sides. But it certainly seems like, they went about parting ways better than, let's say, Brett Favre and the Packers went about parting ways. Urlacher, his replacement, who knows who that's going to be, because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Nick Roach. And I think when Roach left, I think it put more of an emphasis on these Urlacher negotiations, and I thought they'd get something done. But now, without Urlacher in the fold, without Roach in the fold, where do the Bears go from here? As far as getting someone to replace Urlacher, do they have someone currently on the roster they'll use to replace him? Do they find his replacement via free agency, a stopgap sort of option, or do they draft someone in the first or second round to take his spot? I mean, hopefully get a guy like Brian Urlacher in the draft is probably very far-fetched and not likely whatsoever. But nonetheless, the Bears will have to try to move on from here. The fans will have to try to move on from here. And Urlacher, again, we'll see where he goes from here. Does he make a decision to retire? Does he make a decision, to go on to another team and play out his career here? Obviously, I haven't heard anything at all yet about teams that could be potentially interested in Urlacher, because it seemed like he was and the Bears organization was pretty intent on trying to get a deal done. It doesn't happen. Urlacher and the Bears part ways. Let me know what you guys think of this. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm uploading videos here, all day, every day. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, guys, and have a great night.